Am I the a-hole for canceling my birthday party because my parents cut my sister a slice of my custom-made cake the night before my party when she cried for it? My 16F sister, 11F, is the miracle golden child. She always gets what she wants whenever she wants. My parents are always trying to please her and make her happy. They always make a big effort on her birthday and do whatever she asks for, but they can barely remember mine and they are always conveniently broke. This year I wanted to actually enjoy my birthday, so I babysat and even mowed lawns to make this possible. My birthday was a few days ago and the party was scheduled for the day after. I have been planning for weeks and invited all my friends. I bought the food, snacks, and drinks and picked up my custom-made cake, which I was really excited about. It was just perfect. The night before the party, I noticed that my cake, which was in the fridge, had a huge slice missing. When I asked my dad, he shrugged and nonchalantly said that my sister was crying for it and it was just a small piece, my friends wouldn't notice. I yelled at him asking him why he would do something like that when it wasn't even bought with his money and that my sister could have waited for tomorrow. This made him angry, and he went on a tirade about how I think I'm an adult because of my stupid party, implying at the fact that I did everything myself and did not ask them for anything. I ended up calling it off because I was not able to change the location last minute as I didn't have the means to, and I was so hurt, but I didn't want to host it at home anymore. One of my friends told me that calling it off was an overreaction and that I could have just grit my teeth and gone through with doing it at home rather than canceling just hours before. Am I the a-hole for saying I won't ask for help from in-laws ever again? My husband, 30M, and I, 27F, have been married for a little over a year now, but have been together for over 3. He is an only child, which has brought up a couple of issues along the way, but nothing we haven't been able to resolve. When we got married, we moved out of state due to my husband being in grad school and a job offer I got. Unfortunately, life hit us with a curveball, and the office I was working at closed. My husband was close to being done with grad school and we decided to move back home. My in-laws volunteered to help us with the move back, driving the truck, packing, all of it. They are retired and have the time, so we figured we'd take the help. They stayed with us for close to 2 weeks, where we paid for everything. We made the move, and a week after we get settled in, I get a bill from my mother-in-law for all the expenses they incurred while helping us move. I was very upset. My husband wasn't even fazed. I asked him what the reasoning for the bill was and he said, they're retired and on a fixed income, so these expenses weren't in their budget. I agreed to pay them what they were asking for, but I told my husband I'm never asking them for help ever again. I told him we didn't ask for them to come help, they just volunteered, yet they're charging me for their gas, hotel for the drive back, and some meals. He says I'm overreacting. Am I the a-hole? Am I the a-hole for telling my daughter-in-law that she isn't welcome in my home due to her jealousy about me being a housewife? I am a housewife now. I was a stay-at-home mom when my kids were young, and now that everyone is out of the home, I am a housewife. The moment I met Beth, she has had a problem with me. The first time I met her and I told her I am a homemaker, she told me that's not a job and it's lazy of me. I met her literally 30 minutes before that. It comes up all the damn time. They come over for dinner and I mention I am tired, and she will tell me I don't work, so how am I tired? I have talked to her and my son before. My husband and I have concluded that she is jealous. It's the only thing that makes sense at this point. I have told her if it happens again, I will ask her to leave, and the comments stopped for a bit. They were over for a dinner party recently, and I was talking about how I made the pie for tonight. Beth made a comment that of course I had enough time since I don't work. That was it, and I told her I had enough, that I get she is jealous of me since she has to work, but she needs to get out and she is not welcome back. My son and her called me a jerk for kicking them out, but I am tired of hearing it. Am I the a-hole?
My wife isn't allowing our son to cosplay the character. Am I the a-hole for how I handled it? Our son, Jacob, 15M, is planning to go to a cosplay costume event thing. I don't know much about that. My wife, 41F, and I, 41M, weren't interested, especially my wife. She didn't like the idea of paying money for the costume, but she agreed in the end. Jacob showed us the costume he was planning to buy, and the character was a female. My wife didn't like that and told him to choose something else. I wanted him to choose the one he liked, so I pointed out that the character has a sword, so it isn't a very feminine character. I know that this looks like a half-baked attempt to convince her, and yeah, she wasn't having it. After a while he came and showed us another character, a different female. My wife said this one is better, but to choose another one. Jacob tried to explain that he liked these characters and wanted to tell us their stories, but we truly weren't interested. I told her to just let him cosplay whatever. Many guys cosplay and dress as females, it's fine. But she wasn't having it. She said she doesn't mind him choosing female characters in games, and that's it. I felt pathetic that we, at the age of 41, are arguing about an anime cosplay. It is just a costume, clothes, fabric, a bunch of threads. So, I told her she should find something better to do than complaining about a costume. She wasn't happy with that. I don't think I am an a-hole, am I?
Would I be the a-hole if I didn't tell my boyfriend that I'm having an abortion? I, 40F, am on the pill, and I still managed to get pregnant. I have been dating my boyfriend, 35M, for 3 years now. Everything is amazing, and we are honest and open with each other. The problem is that my boyfriend is religious. I'm not. I know that if I told him he would be devastated. My dilemma is that I can argue both sides. He would just be hurt and devastated for no reason if I tell him, and since we never plan to have children anyway and he knows my views on not wanting kids, it is my decision to abort after all, so why not just do it in secret? On the other hand, he would probably not want me to terminate and will probably leave me because of it. I feel like by not telling him I'm coercing him to be together with someone who he wouldn't want to, even if he says he loves me right now. I feel like I would hurt him so much if I told him, but at the same time, I can't not tell him because I would be taking away his right to end the relationship when he finds out. I am thinking maybe I just end the relationship, that will save him the hurt from finding out, and I'm letting him go so he doesn't have to be with someone he wouldn't want to be with. My husband lost his best friend from high school because he crossed a line with me, and now I can't stop feeling bad because I shouldn't have said anything. My 28F husband's 49M friend, 50M, had a horrible fight with his wife and she kicked him out of their house, so my husband and I decided to welcome him into our home. Well, at first everything was normal, but then he started making me uncomfortable like never before. He started invading my personal space or brushing against me when he passed by, and things like that, and I refused to believe that he would do something like, so I kept quiet and never said anything to him. One day I was in the kitchen and my husband was upstairs taking a shower. He said he wanted to help me, but all he did was get behind me with the excuse of taking something from the cupboard to rub himself against me, and that made me feel very disgusted, so I talked to my husband and fortunately he believed me and confronted him immediately. Friend flatly denied it and said that I was lying, that he should put me in my place, and my husband hit him and it all ended in a horrible physical fight. Since then my husband and him have not spoken, and I doubt they will because my husband is furious at him, and I can't stop feeling bad. What if I imagined it all? I mean, we have a 3-month-old and haven't been sleeping much, which is possible to cause hallucinations. This was his longest friendship and it was destroyed in seconds because of me. I should have confronted him alone to avoid this. My husband thinks that I did exactly the right thing, that it's not my fault, but I feel that it is. One of their common friends took his friend's side and stopped talking to my husband too, and the worst thing is that everyone blames me because I brainwashed him and turned him into someone unrecognizable, and I let those words affect me. I don't know how to stop thinking like that. My husband has supported me a lot, but I still feel bad. Is this a normal feeling? Will it go away with time?
Am I the a-hole for telling my 25M girlfriend, 24F, I'd rather break up than do something in bed? We've been together since senior year of college and have talked about marriage. We're not exactly intimately adventurous, just normal stuff, but we've been trying a few more things lately. We were both raised in evangelical churches and have since left. What's adventurous to us is pretty tame to many. Recently she said that she really wants to try pegging. She said we've already done but stuff, so I shouldn't be too opposed. Except, we only did it because she wanted it. I can take it or leave it honestly. I told her that I would never agree to pegging and she'll just have to forget about it. Then she bought a strap-on to try to convince me it wasn't that big of a deal. No kink shaming, but I have no interest and don't want to try. She said that if I don't do it, she'll never be able to experience it. I, half-jokingly, told her if she keeps pushing it, she'll be free to experience it with whoever she wants. She stared to cry. Should I just do it because she wants, or should she respect my decision and drop it? Am I the a-hole for telling my son I am not buying him new food since he ruined his and he can be hungry for a few hours? It's been a long day. I have a son named Jack that is 14. He is a horrible picky eater, so getting lunch out on the town is a nightmare most of the time. Now I had all the kids with me to go visit a relative in the hospital. Everyone got taken out of school for it. The hospital was a 3-hour drive, and we went up this morning. By lunch everyone was starving, so we stopped by Chick-fil-A. There is a trend of putting mac and cheese on the sandwich with a sauce. Jack mentioned this, and I told him I will not buy him more food if he does it and he doesn't like it. Well, he did it and he hated it. Now everything was touching, so he couldn't just eat the sandwich after taking it off. I didn't buy him more food like I said, and he didn't eat his concoction that he made. After that we drove back home, and he was really hungry. My wife came home and he started telling her how I starved him. We got an argument for not buying him more even though we could afford it. Both of them think I am a huge jerk for this. Am I the a-hole? Should I have just bought more food?